How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some real creepy clips that are sure to keep you up at night. But as always, before we dive in, remember to hit that subscribe button for more scary content just like this.
While nanny cams are typically used to keep an eye on young children in order to make sure they don't get up to no good, this video, uploaded to YouTube by Black Box TV, is proof that they can also capture some supernatural creepy clips. When you set your child up in their room to play in view of their nanny cam, you likely assume they're going to be safe playing alone. These devices do well to offer parents peace of mind when they're no longer in the room, but no parent typically thinks they'll see their child be attacked by something supernatural. This video depicts a child laying on the floor and colouring, the exact thing a parent would usually expect to see on nanny cam footage. What happens next proves to be shocking. As the child lays down and colours, an otherworldly hand, black and spindly, creeps out from under the bed. With supernatural speed, the hand reaches out and wraps itself around the child's ankle, pulling the child under the bed swiftly. The speed with which the child is pulled under the bed is truly concerning, making this one of the creepiest videos online. Whatever the creature beneath the bed was, it appears to be nothing but bad news, and the viewer is left doubting it pulled the child under the bed for its own protection. Rather, the force with which the child was pulled under the bed couldn't possibly bode well for the child or its family. This video, posted to Reddit by a major malfunction, depicts a seemingly empty hallway after school has ended for the day. No one is around, save for a vapor-like shadow making its way down the hallway. The shadow is distressing to see as it drifts out of an intersecting hallway. It seems to walk straight towards a wall before it disappears. More solid than a trick of the light, while not appearing solid enough to be corporeal, the odd figure makes this a standout among many creepy clips. While some clips may depict eerie figures stalking around halls menacingly, this clip accomplishes creating a spooky atmosphere easily without including a monstrous creature. While watching this clip, one is unsure if the entity is malevolent or benevolent. The fact remains, however, that it's eerily ethereal and otherworldly. Stalking between hallways, one may assume this figure has some unfinished business in this old school. Appearing as an apparition mined in a movie, the figure definitely gives off a ghostly vibe, causing the viewer to wonder if it's possible a real ghost was captured walking through the school halls. There's a wide range of creepy CCTV videos on the internet, but this video, uploaded to YouTube by user Sugu Amesi, is one of the most creepy clips out there. Showing a darkened intersection, the footage immediately draws the viewer's eyes toward the bottom left corner of the screen. What appears to be a human-like figure is shown in the bottom left corner, although the viewer immediately feels as though there's something not quite right. Glowing white, the figure's appearance could be a trick of the light or just captured oddly. However, this idea is quickly dispelled, as the figure looks as though it's begun to ascend towards the sky. Seemingly taking slow, measured steps, the figure appears to be walking on air, then zooms up into the sky. The higher the figure gets, the more otherworldly it appears to be as it begins to lose shape, ascending into the sky. What follows is the conclusion that the figure is not in fact human, but a somehow otherworldly creature such as a ghost or perhaps even an angel. Moving in such an odd way, the figure is transfixing to the viewer. If you slow the clip down and zoom in, the footage is truly puzzling, even to a skeptic. Some have noted that it might simply be headlights reflecting onto the lens of the security camera, refracting the light and creating the illusion of a flying otherworldly being. but this can't be said with any certainty. Regardless of whether or not this figure was truly a ghost or supernatural spirit, it's hard to explain and worth examining over and over again. Love to get your thoughts on this mysterious piece of footage in the comments section below. This video, posted to YouTube by user Jamzam, depicts a group of teens who have somehow entered into a funeral home after hours in the middle of the night.
Go back. Yeah, go to the back. Turn your lights off if you can.
The found footage style of this video definitely leads to the video's creep factor, as the teens make their way into the funeral parlour. Carefully avoiding a nearby police officer and successfully entering the funeral home, one boy says to the other, "I don't know about this, guys," voicing a concern many a viewer may option up as well. Finally, exhibiting some reserve, the teens still manage to make their way through the home until they stumble upon a distinctly eerie room. Completely empty in the night, the camera begins to pan around the room. However, as the camera is panning, it happens to capture the eerie sight of a tissue being sucked straight up into a lamp.
Dude, did you see that? What the fuck? Dude, did you see it? I saw that. Yeah. Was that a tissue?
There's nothing around the table or near the lamp that could cause such an event. The teens are thoroughly weirded out. "Don't touch it," one of the boys yells, perhaps coming to terms with the situation they've put themselves in. Instead of leaving after what seems to be a confirmation of supernatural activity, they choose to stay and continue to search the property. Just as the viewer has started to get over the shock of the tissue seemingly moving on its own, the camera pans over to one of the chairs falling over on its own, too forcefully to have been an accident.
That tissue tripped me up. Dude, let's get the f out of here.
Completely spooked, one of the teens urges the others to leave and asks what they're still doing there. Perhaps out of distress, the camera work begins to falter and the video goes out of focus, leaving the viewer confronted with a pitch-black screen. The teens panic in the background, audibly disturbed by the eerie events going on around them.
Dude, what is that?
In the darkness, the viewer is left with nothing but a large, ominous thump, and the teens attempting to make a hasty exit.
What the? Go. God damn it.
Perhaps wondering why they hadn't left at the first sign of trouble, or wondering why they came at all, the teens are at their wits' end when they mistakenly run into the basement. There, they find themselves confronted with a room full of empty caskets, an ominous sign indeed.
This is great, man. Just f***ing great. Let's get out of here. Let's go.
Rather than brave the horrors of the upstairs room again, one suggests making a quick break through a window.
Just look around for a window or something.
Just as they're looking for an exit, it becomes apparent that they've seen something unspeakable off camera. Screaming, the teens begin to run frantically just as the video cuts out for good.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
This video, uploaded to YouTube by the user The Gundawuru, begins by depicting a man walking down the street. Slowed down, it's clear the uploader has chosen to provide the video in slow motion for good reason. Presenting standard CCTV footage, it's clear the man is walking down the street in the middle of the day, through what appears to be an average neighbourhood. What places this among other creepy clips captured by CCTV is what appears several seconds in. A black shadow spontaneously appears out of thin air in the top right-hand corner of the screen. It pauses for just a split second before bounding down the road past the man. It's clear that if the shadow is moving this quickly in the slowed down version of the video, it must be moving extremely quickly past the man in real time. Seemingly zooming in off screen, the figure appears to be floating ethereally past the man without touching the ground. Whatever the figure is, it's obvious the video has captured some very eerie, abnormal occurrence. Before we get to that number one spot and take a look at some terrifying footage captured in Japan, remember to hit that subscribe button and tickle the bell icon. That way you'll be in the loop about all our latest scary and creepy content. In a video uploaded to YouTube by user Erica/Kuro, a group of women is seen enjoying a fun night outside with sparklers. Entitled Ghost of Japan, the viewer may quickly piece together that there's some sort of celebration going on. While interacting with the sparklers, one woman appears to look off into the distance, seemingly disturbed. Her friends tease her, bringing her attention back to their fun. However, it appears as though the other women have also noticed something odd in the distance. One of the girls walks off into the darkness. The others begin screaming, but the footage is too dark to tell what's going on. With the footage slowed down and brightened up, it appears as though several ominous masked figures are standing in the background in the direction of which the girls were concerned. The intentions of these masked figures is unknown, but the frightening screams given off by the group of girls seems to indicate that they were up to something sinister. Transitioning to an indoor clip, a woman stands in a home, seemingly explaining something to do with two dolls placed up against a wall. Dolls are a typical feature of creepy clips online, and the dolls in this video are no exception. A camera has been set up to focus on the dolls for the duration of the night. Cue cards let the viewers know the hours are passing as the dolls remain stationary. Still, the viewer is convinced there's a reason the camera has been set up in order to face these dolls. The night passes without incident as the women begin to explain more about the dolls. Just when it seems they've resigned themselves to nothing having had happened, the dolls do the unthinkable. They turn around completely on their own and in sync with each other. The camera holder panics and begins to scream, which startles the other girl. They both panic and the footage abruptly ends.
If you want more scary content, then check out that video on the top there. Otherwise, there's a creepy playlist there you can binge on for hours and hours. Leave us a comment down below which one of these clips you thought was the weirdest or creepiest. And that's it from me. I'll see you all next time.